When the Beatles officially disbanded in 1970, their personal relationships had already suffered considerable damage. The bond between John Lennon and Paul McCartney, once the heart of the band's creative force, had deteriorated the most. A major factor in the breakup was a heated dispute over who should manage the group's business affairs. Lennon championed Alan Klein, a figure both George Harrison and Ringo Starr supported. McCartney, however, insisted on Lee Eastman, his father-in-law, as the best candidate. The clash over management led to more than just business disagreements. It sparked a very public falling out between Lennon and McCartney, one that spilled over into interviews, press statements, and even their solo music. Despite the bitterness, the emotional connection between them never completely vanished. In fact, even during the worst of their feud, they maintained a fierce loyalty to one another and would not tolerate outsiders speaking ill of the other. After Lennon, Harrison, and Starr officially signed with Klein, McCartney found himself isolated. In order to free himself from being tied to Klein's management, he made the difficult decision to take legal action to dissolve the Beatles' business partnership. McCartney has since admitted that this move played a major role in deepening the rift between him and his bandmates, but he believed it was unavoidable at the time. In the aftermath, as Lennon relocated from the UK and the two drifted apart physically, they remained connected in more subtle ways. Though they weren't seeing each other in person, both men often wrote songs that referenced or reacted to one another. These tracks were sometimes sharp and confrontational, which led some people around them to assume they could gain favor by criticizing the other. But those attempts usually backfired. According to Alice Cooper, who was close to Lennon in the 1970s, Lennon's loyalty remained intact even at the height of their conflict. He shared that within their social circle, the Hollywood Vampires drinking club, anyone who spoke negatively about McCartney in front of Lennon risked provoking a physical reaction. Lennon would not hesitate to defend his former songwriting partner, despite their personal fallout. McCartney, for his part, also refused to listen to criticism of Lennon. However, he was less confrontational in his response. Instead of retaliating, McCartney would simply remove himself from the conversation, leaving the room rather than engage in any Lennon bashing. A similar pattern was seen with George Harrison. Although Harrison's relationship with McCartney had also become strained, he even played guitar on Lennon's pointed track How Do You Sleep, which mocked Paul. He still wouldn't tolerate outsiders insulting McCartney. Session drummer Jim Kelter, who collaborated with both Harrison and Lennon during the early 70s, noted that while the two occasionally made cutting remarks about McCartney among themselves, they drew the line at anyone else doing the same. Their criticisms were personal, born of long history, not open invitations for others to join in.